Welcome to day number 3 of the YouTube for Beginners workshop. My name is Michael Damon. Today, we're going to be talking about creating engaging content so that you can get people to stay on your channel. Now, a lot of times when you look up this topic and you want to find out how do I create more engaging videos, oftentimes you're going to get video editors, people who can do all these fancy things with their videos to make it interactive, fun, graphics animated, text popping up. Like, you're going to get people who have a very high skill level when it comes to video editing. But this is the YouTube for Beginners workshop, and we're talking about things you can do as a beginner so that you can still have videos that are going to be engaging and that are going to keep the people that you want to attract to your channel watching. So today we're going to spend some time going through the guide that all of you should have. If you do not have the guide, make sure you go to youtube.michaeldemond.com to register, and you'll get access to our group space. Inside that group space, there's a PDF that I'm going to be sharing on the screen here that says 10 powerful video marketing tips. And inside there, you'll be able to find some of these tips that I'm going to talk to you about today. So let's jump into our screen share and let's talk about where you can find these tips so that you can use them to make your videos more engaging and keep people's attention. And then I'm going to show you a little bit about what I've been doing behind the scenes on YouTube so that you can get used to understanding what are the analytics, how do I interpret the analytics? That question came up earlier. And how do I determine how to use the analytics to help dictate what my next step or the next piece of content should be on my YouTube channel? So I'm going to be teaching you that and giving you some introduction into that, but we'll also spend some time on that a little bit later on this week. So this is the video, say workbook. This is the workbook for our course. Everyone should have this, and if you don't have it, make sure you get inside our group space and download it. There's a pinned post for it. What this is going to do is give you access to some tips that I prepared specifically for this workshop. And the beginning of what we've done about why choosing YouTube is going to be tip number 1. We covered that on day 1. Some of what we're going to talk about today is going to start on tip number 2. So my first suggestion to you is to start simple. As I mentioned, oftentimes people don't begin their YouTube journey because it feels like a lot of work and people feel like it's just something that they're not going to be able to do. What that comes from is seeing people who are doing all these amazing things on their channel and feeling like, I can't do that. Where am I going to get the skill set? How am I going to hire somebody? It's not necessary. You don't have to go spend thousands of dollars on a camera. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on lighting. You don't have to rent out a studio to start your YouTube channel. Okay. I want all of you to start where you are and use what you have to the best of your ability. I am sitting at my desk, where I normally do my work. I have on my desk a stand, so like a tripod stand that I bought on Amazon for about $20, I think. It has a ring light on top and it has a holder for a phone. I have a microphone here next to me, which is right in front of me. And this microphone, I think I requested it for my Christmas gift a couple years back. And I think that microphone might have been like $50 or $60. That's it. That's all I'm using. As far as the camera is an old iPhone that I had sitting in the desk because I upgraded a couple years ago. And I know that the iPhone has a really good camera on the back, so the part that faces away from you. But most phones have a really good camera on the back side. So whether you have a Samsung, Android, that back camera, not the front camera that faces you, is a really good camera. So if you have an old phone that you're not using, and you can get one of these stands and a ring light, put it on there, connect it to your computer if you're using a computer or laptop, you have your camera set up. For those of you who might not use a computer and you might record and produce from your tablet or from your iPhone, again, those have, or not iPhone, but your mobile phone, I should say, those have really good cameras. So get you one of those tripods and a ring light and start talking into the camera, okay? So starting simple, using what you have is going to be the first thing that you really need to do. A lot of times we think that people are going to be expecting us to have like broadcast network level production. Okay. People do not expect that. Look at how popular TikTok is. How many videos and reels are you watching that are highly produced? Most of the times it's nothing to do with the video quality or the equipment that they're using, but what they're doing in the video. That's what makes it engaging and that's what make people watch. That's also what make people share. Okay. So I want you to think about like using your cameras and your phones. Think about this as just a person that you're going to be talking to, because oftentimes when people are watching you, people want to feel engaged. I know that there's a trend of making like faceless YouTube channels and all that. There's a use for that, but for what this class is set up for coaches, consultants, educators, people who are going to be leading others or teaching others, to be able to do a specific thing, build in value in what you offer. Your greatest advantage is going to be you being on camera, showcasing who you are, hearing your voice, them getting to see what you're like. Okay. That's the main thing that's going to make you different from all the other people. So take advantage of the fact that you have a unique story to share, that you are one individual. There's no other copy similar to you. And that's going to be your leverage. I know that it's difficult sometimes because you feel a little bit about insecure about this, especially because you're doing something that you may not have done before, recording on camera, hearing your voice. Everybody who starts this journey goes through the same insecurities. I'm worried about what I look like. I'm worried about what I sound like. I don't like my voice. We all go through that, but you get used to it. Okay. And the people that you're going to be connecting with and talking to are really going to appreciate you showing up however you show up on whatever specific day you do what you do. And they're going to appreciate that because they're going to be like, hey, I don't have to have my guard up and I can show up the way that I want to show up, the way that I need to show up. So it's totally up to you. I don't want you to let what other people are doing dictate that for you. Okay. So let's talk about tip number three. Tip number three is going to be delivering authentic value. So what is authentic value? There's a little guide in here, and it's basically going to say, how do you stand out in the crowd and be yourself? The very things that you feel insecure about are the very things that are going to make people hit that subscribe button on your channel. Okay. So that is your power when it comes to using this method of marketing to connect with other people and to build your community. So be yourself when you're recording and do your best at that time. You will get better. You will not have to depend on a script. It just happens, and I've seen it happen time and time again. One of the students here in our class, Coach Carmen, she has been starting her YouTube journey some years back, and I'll see her just flip on that camera, jump on YouTube Live, say something, get off, like that. But it wasn't always like that. It's, everybody kind of has their journey, but you know your story, you know who you are, and you just show up the way you need to show up in that moment. Okay. So that's going to be the thing that you want to do. Now, let's talk a little bit about like what makes something valuable inside the video that you record. The video that you record needs to have information that's going to be useful to that target audience that we talked about identifying. It's also going to need to have value in what it is that you're talking about, meaning like somebody's going to need to, um, let me find where we were. Hold on one second. The Zoom thing popped up. There we go. Somebody needs to find the answers to the questions that they're looking for, or sometimes people just want to be able to connect to somebody who understands the specific experience that they're going through in life. So some of the things that you can do inside of those videos are you can answer commonly asked questions. Yesterday, we had one of you decided that you were going to do your YouTube channel on, I believe that was Denise, going to do your YouTube channel. It was inspired by the idea that when she travels, she collects snow globes and using those snow globes for her YouTube channel as inspiration for some of the destinations that she's going to feature in her videos. So I love that because it incorporates something that she's naturally interested in. It incorporates something that probably millions of people across the world do. You collect different things from your travels and you want to have a story to tell with those. So that is a nice way to be able to kind of incorporate individuality, still tie into the topic and answer people's frequently asked questions about the destination that she might talk about, and then offer people an opportunity to either book with you or learn how they can become a travel agent of their self if they want to travel the world and share in some of those experiences. Great example. Another thing that you can do is you can address your audience's pain points. So this workshop that I'm doing, YouTube for Beginners, this is all based on addressing pain points. Many of you are here today because you said, I want to start a YouTube channel. It's difficult. It feels too technical. I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to do. So I identified what the pain points are of the people that I chose as my target audience, which is going to be solo entrepreneurs, people who aren't tech savvy or at least feel they can't be tech savvy, but people who know that video marketing is powerful and it's a tool that they need to incorporate into their business. So those were the things that I identified, and I had to think about for that audience, what are their concerns? What's keeping them from starting their YouTube journey? Why are they not using this tool to be able to build the community and build the audience that they need? So I identified a pain point, and we had about 40 people register. At least about half of you have been showing up every day for these trainings and workshops or watching the replays. I'm also going to show you, because I've been taking these recordings and I've been putting them on my YouTube channel, what happens if I take some of the things that we talk about, put it in a public place like YouTube, and what kind of results do that deliver. So I'm going to add that on today and kind of show you what that looks like. Everything that I'm doing, that I'm talking about, that I'm teaching you are strategies that I want you to be able to consider and think about how you can incorporate these things into what you do. So that was my purpose, is to really show you how I'm doing it so that you can kind of mimic and not have to reinvent the wheel. Okay, just follow the same process. So let's go back to our document here, and we will have some time for questions towards the end. All right. So teaching your audience how to do something. We talked about that. We had another example of journaling and teaching some people how to journal. That was something that was shared by AJ, I believe. Give expert advice or insight into what you do. Provide aha moments, kind of help people discover or realize something that they haven't realized before. So all of these things, when you do them well and when you incorporate the lessons we learned on day two about topics people search for, keywords people search for. When you start combining these things, all this is going to become very clear and obvious to you. So oftentimes as business owners, we need to get to the money. How do I make the money? How do I make the money? People want to know how to make the money. To make the money, you need to develop the skills that are going to help you get there. So in the beginning, your process is not about, like making the video that's going to make you $1 million. Your process is about honing your skills so that you get very good at, number one, talking about what you do and delivering value in the content that you're sharing with people so that they just want to hand the money over to you and you don't even have to ask. Okay. So when you get these skills down and you start doing this in a public place where people can discover you and find you, the money comes. This is not about initially getting the money, but really about getting really good at using the tools that are going to allow you to get the money that you want to earn. All right. So last but not least, the goal of delivering authentic value will inform the topics of your videos. We really experienced this yesterday when we went through and searched for a couple terms for the new channel I was using for our class. What is my audience struggling with? What do they need to know? What important questions are they asking? What problems are they trying to solve? What one thing would make a difference in their lives? All of these things are really going to help you make a very powerful video that's going to resonate with that person that you want to speak to. Yesterday, we did a Chat GPT demo. I promise you, if you put in who you want to reach, what you're offering, and copy and paste these questions, you'll get some answers that are going to help you get to the next step. All right. So let's talk about tip number 4 is creating a simple script. I mentioned that in the beginning, you may need to outline your thoughts, develop a script to kind of help guide your conversation, but you will get better at this. When I first did it for the first year, I used to take the time before the show to kind of make a script. Often found that I wasn't following it, but I mostly just had an outline that reminded me of the talking points that I wanted to cover. When you're talking about something that you know, something that you are good at, or something that you personally experienced, you don't need a script in all those scenarios. You don't want to be on camera reading from the screen to your audience, not word for word, at least. And if you do it, learn how to be really good at acting like you're not doing it because you want people to feel like you're talking to them and that you're engaging with them. But a script is going to be helpful in the beginning so that you can kind of get used to how you frame what it is that you're talking about and what you're teaching. So I have some documents that I can share with you. It's like an outline document that I use in a previous program called Video Podcast School. I'll share one of those with you so that you can have an idea of how I would structure a script. Okay. Draw the viewers in, tip number 5. So this is really going to be more of the things that we talked about before, like using your personal story to kind of hook people's attention. At the beginning of this recording today specifically, I immediately called out the fact that we're talking about creating engaging content and not from the perspective of a video editor who knows how to do all these fancy things. I talked about if you're new to YouTube and you don't have those type of skills, I'm going to teach you some things that you can do inside of your video to make it more interesting to people. So I intentionally, in the first 10 seconds of today's video, when you watch the replay, you'll notice I put that in there. The reason why I put that in there is let's say somebody is browsing around on YouTube and they want to know how do I make my videos more engaging? If they see my thumbnail, they see my video, and they only listen to the first 10 seconds, I'm going to get them hooked and I'm going to let them know I'm speaking to you because I know you're not technical. I know you're not a video editor, and everything else that you're going to look at on here is going to be complicated because these people have the skills to do so, but this video is going to be different. So you learn how to kind of incorporate that thing in the beginning of your video so that people will stay to watch the rest because that message that you're talking about is going to resonate with them. So that's one of those examples of how I'm opening the video up with something that is going to hook people in. Some other things that you can do is surprising statistics. 75% of business owners never use ChatGPT. Here's what they're missing. So somebody who might be interested and thought about using ChatGPT may think, oh, wow, that many people are using it. Like, what am I missing? Let me click this video and let me find out. A powerful quote is another good example. Maybe there's something that really inspires you that you want to share with others. Open with that quote and then go into your personal story about how that quote relates to what your channel is about. Humor, what if scenarios, thought-provoking questions. I saw something today on what if that said, what if the new administration got rid of the IRS? A lot of people don't like paying taxes. So it's like, oh, let me see what they're talking about. What happens if you get rid of the IRS? They use the what if scenario. So I thought that was funny that I saw that example today. So all of these are going to be inside of your guide. I want you to take some time to kind of read through these tips on a more detailed level than you may have before. There are different types of videos that you can record. Oftentimes, like we do solo videos where that's just you and the camera. You might have people doing interviews. So what we do with Be Well Travel and Lifestyle magazine, we do spotlight interviews where they're interviewing a contributor of the magazine, asking questions so that the audience gets to know them. That's called an interview format. The other is a how-to video format. So what I'm doing with the YouTube for Beginners workshop is basically following the how-to video format. And then demo videos, I kind of mix some of that inside of what I'm doing too. So I'm giving people examples of how to do things. We saw a video yesterday where someone was demonstrating different software tools. You're not limited to just coming on camera and just speaking directly to the camera. You can try some of these other formats and see which one works well for you. Event videos, explainer videos, again, that are kind of explaining how something works. So go through these and find out the ones that you might be interested in so that you can start thinking about how you can use these tips for your content. Repurposing is something that we'll spend some more time on, but once you start developing your content, we're going to talk about how can I use this content in other places. I never want you making one thing to only exist in one place. I want you to make one thing that can live in 15 different places so that you can connect with people in multiple places. Using thumbnails, titles, and captions. We spent some time on titles and captions yesterday. Thumbnails is something that we'll talk about. We also have a service for that, but you'll find some tools like Canva, which I gave a demonstration on yesterday on how you can use those. And then using call to actions in your videos. I'll show you the call to action that I have in my video based on what I've been doing the past couple days. This is really you saying, hey, if you want X, go do this, so I always say in these videos, if you want access to the guide, if you want to watch the replay from day 1 and 2, make sure you go join youtube.michaeldemond.com. And then recording a channel trailer is something that everybody needs to do by the end of the week. So everything that I've been telling you and giving you is really leading up to you having the ability to do that. All right. So we have about 9 minutes left in this session. What I want to do is take you behind the scenes on YouTube so that we can see what the videos that I posted are doing so far. And then I'll open up the microphone and I'll take some questions from you. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I can click my picture here and I can go and click on YouTube Studio. There's also a mobile app for this. Once you're inside of YouTube Studio, you'll get all the back end data about the things that you've already uploaded and how they're performing. So high level things that I'll just point out to you, the latest video shows right here, right away, so that you can see how that video is performing. Channel analytics is going to show you how many current subscribers you have, as well as how many subscribers you may have added or lost. So in the past 28 days, I've gained 102 subscribers. Okay. Mind you, before this workshop, I don't think I really uploaded any videos. And this is what I love about YouTube is that the things that you upload continue to work and continue to bring people to your channel. Unlike some of the other social media channels where those things might be active for that day, you may get something that picks up later on, but oftentimes it's kind of dead. And those things are designed to make you continue to add content to them. And that's where the burnout part happens. But I haven't made any that many videos in the last 28 days to have gained 102 subscribers. Okay. So let's take a look at the content section. Actually, let's go to analytics. All right. So let's go to content. And this is going to give me an idea of how things are performing so far. So I can do this and look at an overall view if I'm curious, like, why do I have so many people viewing? Well, it's telling me there's been 3,600 new viewers in the last 28 days. 84 of the people who viewed my channel were returning viewers, meaning they've been here before. So that means still 3,520 whatever people are still new. So they obviously found something that attracted them to my channel. And then I can see that 79 of those people had subscribed. So this is just some of the initial data. But if I go to the actual videos themselves, go to the content. All right, so let's take a look at video number one from day one. I posted that on February 10th. It has 32 views, which is most likely a lot of you in the class. This morning, I uploaded part two recording, which has 8 views so far. So if I was to click on the analytics for this specific video, it's going to tell me how many views this has, the watch time, basically how much time have people spent. So there's been about 2 hours watched so far. It's also going to show me um, some of the source of this stuff. So let me just scroll down. All right, so I can tell in this video that people start off, and then this chart is just kind of showing me where the views start dropping off. Now, when I recorded this video, I didn't do like a strong hook because this was just our day one. There could be people who clicked the video and then as the video played on, they didn't stay to the end. But some people have, and I'm sure that's probably many of you. I posted this video and made it public because I wanted to use it as an example to kind of show you what happens after you post a video and what it may look like. The reach tab will show me how many people it reached. So there's a lot of data here that doesn't look like much right now. I can see like external sites. So like, where is the traffic coming from? 90% of the traffic is coming from our membership community. So I can see here that most of the people who are finding this video is because they're in the membership community because clientclub.net is the membership community tool that I use. Let's go back. All right, engagement's going to tell me again how many watch hours, how long the average viewer stays, or typically 4 minutes. I see there's been, I think there's only been one like so far. I should have at least 20 likes. There's 20 of y'all on here. Where them likes at? But this is kind of the benefit of like when you put content on here, what you can learn. I can see that a good percentage of the people, 46% of them are watching the video from computer, another 37% from TV. I'm sorry, from mobile phone, but hey, 12% have been watching from their TV. So this is why when we talked about the channels, the art, you never know where people are going to be watching. There's not enough data just yet to show us the age and the gender of people watching. That usually comes after the video's been up a little bit longer. You can also see how many people of your videos are subscribers and how many are not. So in most cases, the people who watch your videos aren't going to even be subscribers of yours. They're people who found the video and decided to watch. You'll see that happen over time. Right now, the subscribed is more because I'm, speaking to you guys and most of you already are subscribers. So I wanted to just show you that so you can get an idea of like how the videos perform in the back end. I'll continue to watch that and see how it performs. You don't get a whole lot of data in the first 48 hours, but by next week, I'm sure I'll have more information. I do anticipate the video from yesterday and today to probably do better because I did intentionally do SEO focused keyword titles. And then I'm also keeping it a little bit more general in the content to be beyond you guys who else it might be helpful for. So I'll share in the group, after about a week or so how those two perform. So this is day 3. Your homework today is to take note and go through the guide that I gave you. I want you to come up with 3 to 5 video topics that you're going to do for your channel. And then we can talk a little bit about that tomorrow in our Q&A session about what you decided to do and talk about some tips for helping you produce that content. So just come up with what you're going to talk about. It's 3 to 5 topics based on what you learned today. Okay.